Hey, I'm here with the ProVision staff and we're talking weight room.
There we go.
So I'm gonna start it off with Coach V. He is our speed and strength coach. V, why the weight room, or why is it so dang important?
I think since all of us are up here, I think we're all going to take a stab at it, right? And I'm just going to give you my probably the most rational part of it, right? We're going to take away the mental and emotional aspect of it, which I really want to rest on eventually at the end. But the most rational part, we were just talking about this in the office, it is physical resilience.
Yes.
Right? So many parents, and I hope when you listen to this, listen. You can repeat and repeat how to step and how to throw and how to catch, but nothing will prevent you from getting injured like the weight room. Nothing will make you faster like the weight room. Nothing will make you hit harder like the weight room. So just parents, I'm sorry, I'm emotional about this, but so many parents get wrapped up in taking their kid to tournament after tournament, practice after practice. They'll sit and tell you at dinner, at coffee, like, well, I went to practice at 3:30 with my son and then took my daughter to practice at 7:30. We didn't get home till 9. We don't even have dinner at home. We have dinner in the car. Ooh, okay. When's the last time your son lifted a dumbbell? When's the last time your daughter's jumped on a box or off a box? Oh, we don't have time for that. We really just throw the ball and catch the ball and do a bunch of, I got a coach for throwing and all this crap. Like, well, this is why your daughter at 9 years old can't jump or run, is still third string because she's not strong. This is why your son is watching from the bench and you're emailing coach. This is why your son doesn't get playing time, because you spend $5,000 a year on skill training, but you spend zero amount and energy and effort on lifting weights. So,
Hey, tell us how you really feel.
so listen. It's resiliency, right? If you don't want your kid to get hurt, make them lift weights. They have to be in the weight room.
Yeah.
Resiliency might be used nowadays and it's thrown around as far as emotional and mental resiliency, but we need physical resiliency. If you want to play a sport, the number one thing is you can't play it if you're hurt. So if you don't want to get hurt, lift weights. And then we throw in, you want to be faster, stronger, better, lift weights.
Yeah.
So that's the emotionally charged rational answer from me.
All right, here's another one that might ruffle some feathers out there. Is if I'm a dad, I got a bench down in the basement, I got a bar down in the basement. Is that enough?
Well, something's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
Right? Coach, yesterday we had one of our athletes talk smack to another athlete. Well, what do you bench? I bench this. As a barometer of toughness, right? So maybe if Seth will bear with me, play tit for tat with me. Is it enough? It's not enough, but something's better than nothing.
Okay.
At least he'll lift weights and learn the idea of doing more to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't think that's, if a father, mother, anyone looks at that as that's what my kid does, no, it's not enough. But to that episode last night, does a big bench make you a better football player?
Not at all.
No.
I mean, yes, we test 225 for
sure.
combines. There's all those types of testing that tells you how strong you are.
Right, in the bench, that's it.
And
Yeah.
how fast you can run in a straight line and stuff, but there's so many other movements that you need to do. There's so many other little muscles you need to train. We were talking in the kicking episode about hip flexors, groin. That is not just for kickers. We use those muscles more and directly put force into them, but working on pulling out of a turn instead of stepping, like something as simple as that. There's so many different movements in the weight room, throwing med balls, using a functional machine.
Yeah.
There's just so many different things you can do in the weight room and need to do in the weight room and will do in the weight room in college that you just can't get from just using an Olympic bar. You can be a strong Olympic lifter,
Right.
but if you're not moving, if you're not throwing, if you're not producing power into the ground, out of the ground, it's going to be tough to be real good.
And as a parent and being a PE teacher for 6 years, it's always said, man, kids don't do what we used to do. They don't climb trees. They don't jump fences. They're not doing things that we used to do as a kid that was all day.
Yeah.
So just like moving, like is important. And I know sometimes the question comes up with our youth is, well, when can they get under the bar? When they can get underweight? Like, but I'm watching you guys, you train these young guys, and you can tell, and I don't know if it takes a trained eye for this, but you can tell how strong those kids are getting in their movement.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? The fluidity, the way they put force to the ground, redirect, jump, catch themselves even after a jump. It's so evident.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say, like, for youth, would you say movement over weights?
Well, Seth referred to it already. Like, even though he didn't say it, it's all neurological.
Yeah.
The weight room is neurological. It's feedback from your feedback from your body to your brain, from your brain to your body. Like, I need to do this movement, do it. Respond right back. Now do this, right back, right?
Yeah.
So how do we get that? How do we get that?
Yeah.
Like you said, used to be in the day, back in the day, we go play tag, we run around. Right. Nowadays, and it's nothing. No, it's nothing against the kids. It's more about the society we live in.
Yeah.
But nowadays, a mom or a dad will give you a phone to kind of placate you and sit you down, right? And so then you become kind of adjusted to that modality of entertainment. We don't go through the ball anymore. So now we have to get parents to understand that if we don't move you first well, if we don't move well, but we load on like movement that's not well or good, we're just gonna put you in a position to get injured, right? Yeah. So what you said, exactly right. We must move well first, and then we will load function or form and movement.
Well,
But until then.
moving well is also like, that is strength.
Absolutely.
So when people think
It's the
strength,
first most.
they think like dumbbells,
Yeah.
45-pound plates,
Yeah.
right? But being able to control your body and to move well is a sign of strength, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, look at wrestling.
Yeah.
Like just kids wrestling around. I'm talking about wrestling, but it's like when kids tussle and wrestle, they're getting strong, right?
Yeah.
And they're learning how to move. That's the thing, moving well. When situational movement or situations force us to move, we have to respond to those situations through adjusting our bodies through whatever is needed to get us through that challenge that we're given, right? So that's how it becomes neurological and physical, right? And you can't replicate that on an iPad at home watching TV. You have to be doing something. And because kids don't do stuff as much anymore, that's when our program comes to Seth with this speed, agility, the kicking, everything we do, that's when our program kind of becomes super important because we now are adding an essential component to athletes' lives that they're not getting anywhere else, right?
Well, even for an elite athlete, like when I came to you, I've been in the pros probably for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And in training with you, like we found some leaks that I had as far as producing power, right? The core movements, single leg stuff.
Yeah.
And just understanding how to create power from the ground up, right? That's kind of a specialized thing. And I mean, even though I made it to the NFL, I was a better athlete after I had trained with you. Like we've had these conversations, move better, move more efficiently, less injuries. And that's what it's all about. When if you're playing or you're a competitor, you've got to be available to play the sport, right?
For sure.
And we got a group of guys up here that you've been a strength coach for how long? 30 plus years?
28.
28?
Oh, well, if you want to go back to when I GA'd at Eastern, we're going 30 years.
Let's go 30 years.
Woo,
You spent some time in the weight room at Whitworth. I've spent some time in the weight room as a coach actually at Central. You know, you've been doing that here. What's the most challenging thing that you've seen in the weight room with the kids, as I say, these days?
I'd say the pace that we set in the weight room. It's a lot different than when you're at the gym with your buddies, you're at home lifting. Like, there's just a different pace in a college weight room that even me, who had a pretty solid high school program that we were going all year long, after school, before school, all that stuff. Like, I got to college and that pace was different. Right? You're moving way faster in between sets. You're not lollygagging. You're not talking about this or that. Like
Getting
maybe-
after it.
Yeah, you're getting after it. That's why we call it the war room, because we're getting after it for an hour straight.
Yeah.
At 50 minutes to an hour straight, we're getting after it. And I think that's the biggest difference then.
So let me, thank you for that. Let me ask you,
Yeah.
you know, kind of being the new guy.
Yep.
Just visually what you're seeing, what is the difference at Provision than, let's say, some other place you've been, maybe a high school weight room, maybe you're just regular commercial gym?
Yeah, so I was the director of strength and conditioning at Whitworth for what had been 5 seasons. And there's a couple things, it's gonna be a long answer, but when I walked in and looked at the Provision speed and strength program, I was like, wow, I was doing that with the college kids. Wow, that freshman in high school is actually doing that better than a junior in college. And those are things that Coach V, Coach Seth are bringing to these kids at a young age. So, I mean, this is real deal stuff. And again, not just, okay, we're getting under a machine and seeing how many lat pull downs we can do. It's man, we're doing this to make you a more explosive, more well-rounded, functional athlete.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you this,
Yeah.
because we've sent some kids to Whitworth.
Yeah, that was, yep.
Tell me the difference, because I think we build them different at
Yeah.
Provision, especially through the weight room,
Yeah.
right? We won't get the culture of what the weight room does for that, but tell us about those kids and that transition into going from high school to the college level, the ones that trained at Provision.
Yeah, it's really, really clear. It was, I would see guys, and so we would give out in the off season, it was an award once a week. We called it the Beast of the Week, where it was a guy that just stood out in the weight room, whether it was our conditioning or just our lifting, just how they worked. And multiple times we're giving out that award when I was coaching there, and I'd then look and be like, wait, was that kid was a Provision kid. And okay, 1 time, 2 times, okay, now I've done this a handful of times, 10 plus times, and I'm looking at it and thinking, man, well, first off, these guys know how to work or know how to strain, right? They don't go in there and they're just like, okay, I see what the sets and reps are. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm done. Those guys are going at it, attacking it, getting after it, right, with intentionality. And then the other thing that was really clear to see was that they were technicians. Like, they were guys, you talked about energy leaks. Like, you could see that the movement patterns and the way that they were bracing themselves or moving, it was, man, they're efficient movers. And the reason that they're strong or fast is because they're doing things the right way with technique. And then kind of the last thing there is, you know, in the weight room, it's really easy to let the ego get in the way, right? Where you're thinking, man, I'm super strong, I'm super fast. And that can actually that can take away from you working, because you're like, right, like, I think I can be doing this weight, but you drop the weight and you're doing it with incredible form, intentional form, right? You take the ego out of it, which I think that's what Provision does, or the Provision weight room is, like, you remove the ego. You might not be as big, fast, and strong as the guy to the left and the right of you, but man, you're gonna work really hard, and you're gonna be getting after it in the weight room. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, good. And I'll call out some names. Cade Conklin.
Oh.
Daniel McKiernan.
Yeah. Dylan McCain. Louis Reynolds.
Jake Gaffney.
Jake Gaffney, specialist.
Yeah.
Jake Gaffney and Iden Bone, both guys who are specialists, whooping our entire team in running, right? And again, going back to like kickers, people are like, kickers aren't even a part of the team. No, those guys are beating everybody in sprints,
That's awesome.
right? They're winning Beast of the Week. Yeah, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. All right, we get to what the weight room really does.
Yeah.
John, let's talk about culture.
Yeah.
What's cultivated? What can be cultivated in a weight room that can be transformative on the football field as well, or any sport in that matter?
All right, I have to.
Here it comes. Let's
So I'm sure I'll get emotional. I already am. Listen, The weight room is there for anyone, right? And we, I think as human beings, we get caught up in what's going on in our lives, whether it be positive, negative, marital, school, whatever that is. And to have a haven, like a safe haven, to go where you're not judged, you're not told who you should be, what you're not, what you are. You just walk in. You just walk in and you get to be everything that you aspire to be, are working on, erasing, building, right? It's the one place, listen, to me, when I'm in church, I'm close to my Savior, to my Lord and Savior, but adjacent to that is the gym.
Yeah.
Right? And that is salvation. That is the place where you can go and just be who you are with nothing else going on. For me, 4 a.m. to 6:30 in the morning is my time to be who I get to be, right? And so you ask, what does that build? At PVA, we're trying to replicate that. We're trying to replicate that opportunity that for an hour and a half, we give you an opportunity to work on that person you're trying to become, right? To where resiliency is gonna kick you in the face, struggle is gonna kick you in the nuts, really. It's gonna hold you down, and you have to say, I won't deal with that. I'm gonna get through it and I'm gonna go. It's a place where you are taxed, you are pushed, you are stressed, and asked to give everything you got with nothing in return other than say you did it, and you're stacking those days so one day in the fall you can be the dude on the team, right?
Yeah.
One day in your life you can say, life won't hurt me, I'll hurt it back. That kind of stuff. So the culture we're building is this: fight, fight, fight with no ending in sight. Continuous pursuit of a worthy goal to be better every single day through hard work, through effort, and that's what life is, right? That is exactly what life is. Life doesn't reward you with anything else other than one day you look back and you go, did I do this? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Days of hard work and you did this. Look back, son. That's your life. You did this. But it took days and days of just doing the work with no pat on the back, no reward, no gift, no cake, no light, no nothing. You just did it because you're supposed to do it. And that is what we're building in the movie, right? It's a culture at PVA. We say, no matter what, show up.
Yeah.
And when you show up, we'll get you to work.
Yeah.
And I promise you, at the very end, you'll be thankful for it, right? Because you'll be a different person, right?
You will. Well, you see it in front of your eyes, the kids transform.
Yeah.
From those kids that the first time they're out, they're crying because it's the hardest thing they've ever done. And that is when, as your character is tested, like, it can be humiliating. It can be you're not happy with yourself. It could be lots of things, right? For me, the weight room's always been a burning ground where that's where I burn everything.
Yeah.
And when you see these kids cry and you're like, oh my God, I hope they come back. But then after practice, after we love them up, they leave with a different pride. And like I said, they're the athletes that come out, they're built different.
Yeah.
It's where their confidence is built.
It's where confidence is built.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. So I just want to say to you and Seth, and Duke and myself, like, man, we cultivate a special thing there. And
100%.
the weight room is one of those places where you're forced to face a lot of things.
Yep.
And so let's end with that. I thought that was great. John, you always give your heart. Glad you didn't cry. And that was our take, our philosophy, our thoughts on the weight room, how we do it at Provision, and why these kids are built different. You come check us out at provisionacademy.com, Instagram, Facebook, call us, whatever it is, find us.